With AI, now anyone without any coding knowledge can build a fully functional website or app in just a few prompts. So if you have some software idea that you want to build, but you don't know how to code, this tool is very empowering. In today's video, I'm going to go over this AI code assistant called Cursor. Now, I personally don't have any coding experience, but with Cursor, I'm going to show you step by step how I built these two projects. The first project is the coolest image editor ever. Here you can upload a photo and it would automatically remove the background and swap it to a solid color. Plus, you can add text and change the size, color, and position of the text. For the second project, we're going to build an image generator that uses Flux. This is quite complex because not only do you need to set up the front end, but you also need to write the back-end code and link it to an external API. But with Cursor and just a few prompts, we can do all of this without any coding knowledge. Let's jump right in. All right, let's get started by installing Cursor. So you can go to cursor.com. I'll also link to this in the description below. Once you're on the page, simply click on download for free. All right, once that's finished, simply open the exe file. And then you're going to go through the installer. Once that's open, you'll see these settings. I'm just going to leave the keyboard at the default of VS Code. Language, I'm just going to keep it at English, but you can set it to a different language if you want. Code base wide, I will click on enabled, and I'll also add this to the command line. So let's click on install Cursor. All right, let's click continue. And then if you select this, your data might be sent to server. So this includes questions in chat, code snippets, or editor actions. So I'm going to unselect this and select privacy mode. And we are done. So now let's log in. If you haven't logged in yet, you can sign up for a free account. Really quickly, here's the pricing. So they do have a free plan. So this includes a 2-week pro trial when you first sign up. But afterwards, it also includes 2,000 completions every month, plus 50 slow premium requests, etc., etc. And if you want a higher limit, then you can pay $20 per month for a pro plan. But I find that the free plan is often enough for my needs. The next thing you'll need to download is Node.js. You'll need to use this to install other packages and dependencies. So you can go to nodejs.org. I'll also link to this page in the description below. All you need to do is go to the download tab, and then I'm just going to use the pre-built installer. This just downloads a Microsoft installer file on my computer. Once that's finished, let's click on this to run it, and then we'll go through the setup. So I'm just going to click next for all of these, and then click install. All right, after Node has finished installing, let's get started with our Cursor project. Now, to keep things organized, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to create it on my desktop, but you can create it wherever you want, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it cursor_project. Now let's go ahead and open up Cursor. I'm using Windows, so if I search for Cursor in the start menu, you should be able to see this. So let's open this up. And then if it's your first time starting out, we need to open a folder. So at the top here, let's select open folder. And then I'm going to select the Cursor project folder, which I've just created. All right, now that we are in the folder, you can see up here, it says Cursor project. Now, the next thing we need to do is actually create a website. Now, on my keyboard, I'm going to press Ctrl L, and this is going to open up this chat bar on the right column. And this is where you can chat with it like a regular chatbot. Now, in this lower left corner, you can actually select from different state-of-the-art models. So you can choose to talk to GPT-4o or Claude 3.5 Sonnet or GPT-4o Mini. So as I code up the project, as I edit code and generate pages, you'll see that I actually switch between these different chatbots. I find that GPT-4o Mini is good enough for like editing a few lines of code. If you want to generate an entire page or troubleshoot an entire page, Claude 3.5 Sonnet usually works. And if that doesn't work, I actually resort to GPT-4o, and sometimes that fixes the issue. Anyways, for now, let's go with GPT-4o. And the first thing we need to do is actually create the site. Now, it doesn't matter what framework you use. You could just use like raw HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or you can use Vue.js, or you can use Python, for example. For me, I'm going to use Next.js. which is a popular framework for building websites nowadays. So for the first prompt, I'm going to say, how do I create a new Next.js website? And then GPT-4o will now give me all these steps. And the nice thing is, for each step, I can just click run, and let's see if that works. Perfect. So now you can see after I clicked run, it actually runs this line in my terminal window, and I just need to press enter to proceed. Would you like to use TypeScript? Yes. Would you like to use ESLint? No. Yes. I'm just going to press enter for everything and go with the default. All right, perfect. So next step is it's telling me to change the directory to this, which is the folder that it just created. You can also see this new folder that it created here called my Next.js app. And if you expand this, you can see a lot of files that it has downloaded for me already. So let's click run. And now you can see we are in this my Next.js app folder. And then next, if we click run here, this is going to run npm run dev. Note that you do need to have Node installed before all these commands like npx and npm work. And that's why I showed you the installation earlier in this video. Anyways, let's click run, and you can see that the website is running. So if you click on this localhost 3000, you can also type it into your internet browser. You can see that we have our website built already. In just a few seconds, we have a landing page. Now, of course, we need to edit this. So let's go back here, and actually right now we are still in this cursor project folder as the main folder. I want the main folder to be my Next.js app just for convenience. So I'm going to click file and then open folder, and then I'm going to select cursor project and then select my Next.js app as the folder. So at the top here, you can see my Next.js app is the main folder, and we have all these files that it just created. All right, so next step, let's say we want to edit the homepage. We want to get rid of this and add our own stuff. Well, let's say you're a beginner and you have no idea where the homepage is in your folder. So all you have to do is ask the chat. So let's say you've exited out of this. To open the chat again, just press Control L, and the chat would pop up. And then we just need to ask it which file is the home page. And then I'm going to press Shift Enter to add a new line. And then the key here is you want to get it to scan your entire code base to find which file is the home page. So to get it to refer to the entire code base, you can type in @ and then codebase, or you can click this codebase option over here. And what it's going to do is it's going to scan the entire code base and tell you which file is the home page. So let's press enter. And you can see the answer is the home page is in this file. So you can click on this and it would open the file for you, or alternatively down here, it says it's app/page.tsx. So if you open this app folder and you click on page TSX, you're gonna have this page open, which is the home page. Now let's start building our first web app on this page. So we're gonna get rid of this, and then we're gonna build an app that basically lets the user upload an image. Then it's going to remove the background of the image and replace it with a solid color and text, and the user can adjust the color of the background as well as the size of the text. Now with Cursor, don't expect to just give it your entire project idea and expect it to build the entire thing for you in one go. It's better to actually give it things or features you want to add step by step. So let's just start with uploading the image and then swapping the background with a solid color first, and then afterwards we can add in the ability to add text or other adjustments. Now, the next thing you need to know about using Cursor is it's best to give it as much information as possible on what tools you want to use or what APIs you want to call. So for example, for background removal, I'm going to use this free package called, background removal. So what I'm going to do is actually just copy the link here. And then back to Cursor. Right now I'm on my home page. Let's press Control L again to open up the chat window. And then I'm going to write on this page, allow the user to upload an image, and then I'm going to press Shift Enter to start a new line, then use, and then now I'm going to paste in the link of this background removal tool so that it knows to refer to all the information and instructions that's provided on this page. So in order to do that, I just need to type in @ and then paste in the link, And then now I can click add link. So you can see now this link is highlighted. It's going to refer to all the information there to add this background removal. So then use this tool to remove the background of the image. And then I'm going to press Shift Enter again to start a new line. And then the next step after we've removed the background is we're going to replace the background with a solid color with a color slider that the user can adjust. And then I'm going to press Shift Enter again to start a new line. Finally, show the results in real time on the page. So let's press Enter and see what that gives us. Okay, so first we need to install this background removal package. So let's click Run. And you can see when we click Run, this terminal window opens up. And we first need to terminate our session because right now we are running this homepage on this localhost 3000. So we need to terminate that first. I'm going to press Y, Enter to terminate it. And then I'm going to press Run again. And you can see now it has added these 27 packages. Okay, so after we've installed the package, the next step is we need to update our homepage to include all this stuff. Now, instead of me manually typing this in, let's just click Apply. And then it's asking me, do I want to apply this? Yes. So let's click Continue. And you can see line by line, it's going through all of these and applying the changes. So the lines highlighted in green are the new lines that it has added based on this suggestion. And the lines highlighted in red are the lines that it has deleted from the original file. So you could go through this line by line and press Ctrl-Shift-Y to accept the change. So let's press Ctrl-Shift-Y for the first line. And you can see we have added this change now. And then for the second line, we can again press Ctrl-Shift-Y to accept the change. Or if you don't want to accept the change, you can also press Ctrl-N. And then if you want to accept just all the changes at once without going through each addition line by line, you can just click Accept over here. All right, so we have accepted the change. Let's press Ctrl Save, and then let's actually run our website again. So in the terminal down here, I'm going to type in npm run dev, and it's going to spin up our website in localhost 3000 again. So let me just open this. And in fact, I'm going to put this website side by side. So on the left is the website, on the right is cursor. So right now I'm getting an error. It says you're importing a component that needs use state. It only works in a client component, but none of its parents are marked with use client, yada, yada, yada. So assuming I have no idea what this means, I'm just going to copy the error and then paste it back in the cursor chat and then press enter. So it's suggesting some new code that I need to add. Let me press apply. And then it seems like it's only adding one extra line at the top here, which is use client. So I'm going to press accept. And then I'm going to press Ctrl S to save this page. And now we have our new homepage. However, let me just expand this again. It looks like I'm still seeing this error here. So if I hover over this red line, it says this expression is not callable, etc., etc., etc. So you could copy and paste this code back in the chat to fix it, or when you hover over it, there's also this very handy button called AI Fix in Chat, which automatically just pastes this error in the chat and attempts to fix it. So let's try this out actually. Let's click this, and basically what it does is it automatically prompts it with, for the code present, we get this error, and it pastes in the error, and then it asks, how do I resolve this? So let's just click apply, and then click accept, and see if the error is gone. All right, perfect. So we have no errors on this page. Let's press Ctrl S to save the page, and then I'm going to move this to the right half. And then on the left half, let's get started. Let's upload an image. So I'm going to upload this image. And here we go. Here is the image, but with the background removed. And I believe this is the background color selector. And it is. So let me set this to red. And it does turn it red. Let me change the color to blue. Very nice. Very nice. So already it works. How cool is that? Now, this stuff down here is just from the default homepage. I want to get rid of all of these. So what I'm going to do is actually take a screenshot of this. And then back in cursor, because we're working on a different thing now, this isn't really relevant to the background removal function. Let's start a new chat by clicking here, or you can also exit this and then press Ctrl L to start a new chat. Now, whenever you're on a page, by default, the chatbot will reference everything on this page, as you can see here. But let's say you don't want to actually edit anything on this page. Maybe you're asking about something else in your code base. Well, you can click on this to get rid of the reference for this page. But right now, we do want to reference this page. We want to get rid of all this stuff. So let's click this plus icon and then re-reference the page. And then I'm actually going to just paste in this screenshot here and then prompt it with remove all these things from the page and then press enter. All right, so I'm going to click accept and then click apply. You can either apply it to the entire file or apply it to home, which would only apply to this home component here and ignore all these things. If you're a beginner, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what all this code means, just for simplicity, you can click apply to entire file. So you can see that down here, it's removing all of this code, which probably codes these sections, which we want to remove. So let's click accept to accept all the changes. And then if I press Ctrl S, you can see that all that stuff is gone. So the function is kind of built already. Now for the color picker, this looks pretty ugly. Let's see if we can style this up a bit better. So let's start a new chat. And let's just prompt it with style the color picker better. It's really vague. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, I'm going to click apply, accept, and then I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it. And voila, look at that. Now we have like a label, so we actually know what this is. And when we click on it, it looks a lot nicer than before. Plus it even has the hex code next to it. Very nice, very nice. All right, now instead of styling the color picker better, I think this can look better. So let's write style the upload image section better. Again, this is really vague. If you're a designer and you want to specify, the specific color or the look of something, you can definitely do that. But I'm just showing you a really vague example right now. And then it gave us some additional code to use. Let's just click apply and then click accept for everything. I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it. And wow, look at that. The button looks way better now. So let me upload an image. I'm going to upload this Kung Fu Panda image. And after the image finishes loading, it says image loaded successfully. Perfect. And again, if we click on this and we edit the background, it replaces the background. All right, next step, let's add in a function where the user can type in text and the text would be overlaid behind this character and on the background. So for that, because it's a new feature, it's separate from what we have here. Let's start a new chat. And then I'm going to write add a feature where the user can type in text and the text would be added to the background of the image. And then to make it even more difficult, let's write the user can also adjust the position of the text on the background. Let's see if it can pull this off. All right, so it's running some code. All we need to do is wait for this to finish and then click apply, apply to entire file, and then click accept. And then on this file again, I'm going to press Ctrl S. Whoa. All right, so let's upload an image now. I'm going to upload this image of Elon Musk. And there we go. So background color, let's set this to, I don't know, green. And then for the text, let's write hello. And indeed, the text shows up. And if you move the X position, it does move this left or right. If you move the Y position, it does move this up or down. Perfect. Thanks to AI Portrait for sponsoring this video. A good professional photo on your LinkedIn or business profile makes a huge difference. Now, you could try to take them yourself or get a friend to do so, but most people aren't great at taking professional photos. Or you could hire a professional photo shoot, but this costs over $200 on average, plus you need to schedule a session and spend hours awkwardly posing at a camera. And this brings us to AI Portrait. You can generate a portfolio of professional, high-quality photos in just minutes. Just upload one photo, choose your gender, and it would generate a portfolio of 50 professional headshots in various settings. And it generates this within minutes. So if you're looking for high quality professional photos without the hassle of a physical photo shoot, AI Portrait is your best bet. Check it out via the link in the description below. However, there are a few things I want to adjust. One is I want to adjust the size of the text. Second is I want to adjust the color of the text. Third is I also want to have the option to set the text behind the foreground. So let me just type this in. Add options for the user to adjust the text size and color. Also add an option to place the text behind the foreground that was extracted from the background removal. Alright, so it added all of this. Let's just click apply to entire file, and hope that we don't get any errors, and then press accept. And then on the file, again, I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it, and then to upload the image, let's just use the same image. And then background color, let's set this to purple now. For the text, let's write peace. X position works, Y position works, text size works, text color, let's make this pink. That works. Place text behind image. Oh my god, that works too. This is beautiful. So already we have like this meme generator or, YouTube thumbnail generator just from a few prompts in Cursor. How cool is that? Now, here's another function. Instead of just talking to the chat, you can actually edit individual lines of code. So for example, let's say you know what some of this code means. Let's say you want to add a title here. Well, you can first find this upload image button, which is here. This is the upload image button. So let's say you want to insert a title here. Well, instead of pressing Ctrl L and talking to the chat, you can press Ctrl K and then just write add a title here called the coolest image editor ever, and then press enter to generate. And you can see it generates this line of code. And to accept the generation, you can press Ctrl enter, or to reject it, you can press Ctrl backspace. In our case, we're going to press Ctrl enter. And then if I press Ctrl S to save it, you can see now that we have this title here. Now, this upload image button is too close to the title. So let's say we want to add some space below the title. So right now we already have this title. All we need to do is select this line and then press Ctrl K to edit this line of code. So remember that Ctrl K is like doing micro edits on specific lines of code or specific sections of your page, whereas Ctrl L is opening up a chatbot in the right column, and whatever you prompt it with, it's going to scan your entire page and make appropriate changes. Anyways, for this example, I'm going to select this line and then press Ctrl K, and then I'm going to write add some margin or spacing at the bottom of the title, plus make the title rainbow colored. Let's see if it can do that. All right, so I'm going to press Ctrl Enter to accept, press Ctrl S to save it, and there we go, a rainbow colored title with some spacing at the bottom. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Just with a few prompts, you can build a full landing page with pretty complex functions like editing images, background removal, adding text, adjusting the position and the size of the text, even adding like layering to the image. All right, so we've built our background remover meme generator. I don't even know what you call this. Next step, let's add a navigation bar at the top here, and then let's add a new page afterwards in this navigation bar. So again, back in Cursor, I'm going to press Ctrl L to open a new chat. For this one, I'm going to use Sonnet 3.5. And then again, assuming that I know nothing about coding, I have no idea how to add a navigation bar, I'm just going to ask it, how do I add a navigation bar with the items, home, and generator? So generator will be our second page, which we're going to build in a second. Then add this at the top of every page. Now, note that right now we are on this home page, which is called page.tsx. We might not be adding this to the home page. This might not be relevant to the home page. I just want to add a navigation bar to my entire site. So let me get rid of this page.tsx so we're not referencing this page. And instead, let me just press Shift Enter to add a new line. And then I'm going to type in at codebase then select Codebase here. So it's actually scanning the entire folder and then determining, well, where should I add this navigation bar? So let me press enter to have this scan the codebase and tell me what to do. All right, so what it says is I need to create a new file at app/components/navbar.tsx. So actually, let me click this and see what happens. Okay, so if I click this, nothing happens because this file does not exist. This folder does not exist. We don't have /app/components anywhere. But what you can do is actually click create file, and it'll automatically create it for me. All right, and then I'm just gonna click apply here, and then there's a message here. I can't really read this. Okay, it says apply to navbar. Yes. Let's press continue. So it's going to add all this code in the navbar. Let's click accept. And then I'm going to click somewhere on this page and press Control S to save it. Otherwise, it's not going to show up live on our site. And then afterwards, we need to go to app/layout. So I'm just going to click this and automatically it takes me to this layout.tsx page. And then again, assuming I don't know anything about this code, I have no idea what to do. I'm just going to click apply and then apply to layout.tsx. Yes. Let's press continue and then let's press accept. Again, I'm going to click somewhere on the page and then press Control S to save it. Wow, and already we have a navbar at the top. It also gives me some further code here. I thought we already added the navbar, but let me just click apply here, apply to entire file, and see what happens. Okay, it looks like it hasn't made any changes. That's fine. Let's click accept. All right, now if you go back to our website, you can see we do have a navbar here. And when we click home, it takes us to the home page. And when we click generator, it does take us to /generator. Now, this page is showing a 404 right now because we haven't built the page. So that's what we're going to do next. So because we're going to build a new page now, this is a separate function from building the navigation bar. Let me press Control L again to start a new chat. So again, because I'm trying to create a new page, this has nothing to do with this current page, layout.tsx. So I'm going to remove this from the reference. And then I'm going to write, how do I create a new page with the path /generator. And then I'm going to press @ and then codebase for it to scan the entire codebase and tell me, well, where should I put this page in my app folder? So let's press enter and see what that gives us. Okay, so it says we need to create a new file named page.tsx inside a folder named generator within the app directory. The path should be this. Let me click on page.tsx and see what happens. All right, if I just click on page.tsx, it just takes me to the app/page.tsx, which is the home page. That's not what I want. So unfortunately, I cannot click on this. I need to manually add in this page myself. Within this app folder, I should create another folder called generator. Let me do that right now. New folder, generator. And then within generator, I should have this file called page.tsx. So let me right click this, new file, and then page.tsx. And then let's paste in everything here. Let's click apply, apply to page.tsx. Yes, let's click continue. And then click accept. Now let's click anywhere on this page and then press Control S to save the page. And then finally in the navbar, we need to update the navbar component to show this generator. Let's see if it already has this. So let me click on this navbar. All right, it's not pulling up the correct navbar. This is the wrong file. This is just the layout file. Even if I click on both of these, it just takes me to the layout file. It should actually take me to this navbar. And let's verify if this already exists. So /generator, and we do already have this. Perfect. So if I refresh this, you can see the 404 error is gone. We now have this generator page. Now, if we go back to this new page that we just created, this is indeed the text that we see. Generator page, this is the generator page. And then if we click back home, this brings us back to our background removal app. Perfect. So for our first project, we built this. It's a really simple front-end site where the user uploads an image and it removes the background of the image. They can set the background color. They can add in text, edit the position and the size and the color of the text. This is all front-end stuff. We're not calling any back-end components. We're not calling any external services or APIs. for this generator page, what we're going to do is actually the user is going to enter in a prompt and then click generate, and that prompt will be sent to Flux, which is one of the leading image generators out there. In fact, if you haven't heard of Flux, definitely check out this video. Anyways, we're going to send the user's prompt to Flux to generate an image for us. So basically, we're building an image generator on our site. Now, in order to use Cursor to build this, it's really important to specify what platforms or tools or services you would like to use. You can't just tell it, all right, build me an image generator app using Stable Diffusion or Flux. It's not going to magically build that for you. So we do need to link this to an API or a platform for us to use Flux or Stable Diffusion. And there are a lot of platforms out there already, so Novita is one of them. You can link to their API to use Stable Diffusion. Modal is another one where you can basically link to this API to use a lot of different AI models, including Stable Diffusion. And probably the most famous one out there is Replicate, and that's what we're going to use today. So to get started, you actually need to sign up for a free account first. So let's click sign in. And unfortunately, the only sign in method is with GitHub. So if you don't have a GitHub, you do need to sign up for a free GitHub account. After you've done that, on Replicate, let's click sign in with GitHub. All right, so after you're signed in, you do need to set up billing first, because in order to run Flux through their API, it's going to cost you like a few fractions of a cent. So don't worry, it's not going to cost a fortune, but you do need to set up billing. You do need to add a payment method first. So let's click set up billing, and then I'm going to fill in my details here. And then afterwards, at the top here, let's search Flux. And you should see Flux Schnell. So let's go with this, and let's click on this API tab, because this contains all the instructions we need to send to Cursor to set up Flux Schnell for us. In fact, let's click on API reference. So this includes all the code that it can reference to help us set this up on our website. All right, so back on our new generator page, let's press Ctrl L to start a new chat. And right now it's referencing this generator page. Yes, I do want it to reference this because this is what we're going to edit. So let's try out this prompt. Again, I'm using Claude 3.5 Sonnet for this because it's a more complex prompt with a lot of steps involved. So I'm going to write on this page, user can enter a prompt and press generate. And then I'm going to press Shift Enter to start a new line just to keep it more organized. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy the URL of this API reference page and send it to Cursor. And then I'm going to write use at. Now, what you could do is after you press at, there's a few options. If there's a documentation page that you're going to refer to a lot, you can click on this docs item, and then at the bottom here, add new doc, and then paste in the link, and then press enter. After you press enter, you can name this documentation whatever you want. So let's call it how to use Flux Schnell. How do I spell Schnell? There we go. And then confirm. So let's say in the future, you're making a new page and you want to reference this API documentation again. Well, you don't need to find this page again and copy the link. You can just press at, and then in docs, find the doc that you saved, which is this one. Or alternatively, if you're just going to refer to this once and never again, you don't need to save it in your docs folder. All you have to do is paste in the URL here, and it automatically knows to refer to this link for further instructions. So anyways, for our prompt, we're going to write use this page, which contains all the instructions, to generate an image with the user's prompt. I'm going to press Shift Enter to start a new line, and then show me how to set up Replicate. Again, assuming I have no idea what this all means, how do I even set this up to make it work? So show me how to set up Replicate and all the API endpoints. And then also, just to give it more clarity, it's always better to provide as much information about your project as possible. So because we are using an Next.js website here, just to make the prompt more robust and less error prone, I'm going to write I'm using Next.js 14. And then finally, to have it give me instructions I can actually understand as a beginner, let's write give me step-by-step instructions. Assume I'm a beginner. So I'm typing out this really long prompt. This is different from our background removal page here, which is a lot simpler. Like you can get it to change the button, change the title to rainbow colored, etc. In that case, you don't need such a long prompt. But because we need multiple steps here, we need to link replicate, we need to set up all the API endpoints. I want it to give me step-by-step instructions and assume that I know nothing. So let's click enter and see what that gives us. All right, here's what we got. In fact, let me expand this for now. And then if you haven't set up your Next.js project, do this. We've already done this step at the beginning, so let's skip to the next step. Next, we need to install replicate. So let's click run. And okay, so we need to terminate the session first before we can install this package. So let's click run again. And you can see now it's installing replicate in our terminal. It has added 11 packages and it's a success. So the next step is we need to create a .env.local file in your project and add your replicate API token. So what happens if I click this? Okay, so it opens up this file, which doesn't exist. So let's create the file and then let's click apply here and then click continue to apply this to our new file. And then let's click accept. Now note that you do need to manually add in your API token. So back in replicate, if I click on my user icon and then click on API tokens, we have a default token which you can copy or you can create a new token. I'm going to copy this token and then back in cursor, let's paste this here. Now do not expose this token to anyone. I'm going to delete this token before I publish the video. This is a secret code that you should not reveal. All right, anyways, let's click on this file and press Ctrl S to save it. And then the next step is we need to create a new file, app/api/generate/route.ts. Let me click on this and it says this file is not found because we haven't created it yet. So let's create the file and you can see up here it automatically created api/generate/route.ts. And then let's click apply to apply this code to our new page. Let's press continue and then press accept. And then again, remember to click on the page and press Ctrl S to save it in order for the result to show up on the website when we run it. All right, so next step, we need to update this generator page. So let's click on our generator page and it should automatically take us to this page. And then let's click apply to apply all the changes to this page. And then click accept to accept all the changes. And then again, let's click on this page and press Ctrl S to save all the changes. And then finally, step 6, we need to configure our next.config.js file. I have no idea what this is. Let's just skip it for now. And then we can run our application. So let's click run. And you can see it's doing npm run dev at the bottom here. Let's Control click on localhost 3000 to open up our website. So you can see the homepage is still this background removal app. And if you click on generator, now it takes us to our image generator. So one last thing, let me just scroll down all the way to the bottom here and see if we need to make any more changes. It says, remember to replace your replicate API token here with the env.local file with your actual replicate API token, which we have already added. So you can see here is our replicate API token. And then note that the version used in this example, 7b1, etc., is a placeholder. You should replace it with the actual latest version in the Flux Schnell model. Okay, let's try to find that. I think, let me just expand this. It's referring to this code here. So this is just a placeholder. We need to replace it with the latest version. So if I go back to replicates, let's see. If I search Flux Schnell again and click on the API reference, and then let me set this to the right. So if I compare this replicate.run code, it just uses //Flux Schnell. So here's the same code, replicate.run //Flux Schnell. It doesn't seem like there is a code. So let me just get rid of this and then press Ctrl S to save it and see what happens. So let's try this out. Back in our generator app, let's type in a simple prompt like man in the city. and then click generate and see what we get. And it even set the button to generating when it was generating, and voila, here we have a man in the city. So you can see with just a few prompts in Cursor, anyone with like zero coding knowledge could build an AI image generator website. This is so powerful. Now let's try another one. How about a woman in a cafe, just to show you it works. And here we go. Here's a woman in a cafe. Perfect. Now, let's go back to our generator page. I'm going to press Control L to start a new chat. And then I'm going to write add a download button for the user to download the image. And let's press enter. And then so yada, yada, yada. It's giving us some additional code. Let's click apply, click accept. And then on the page, let's press Control S to save it. And then here we now have this new download image button. So if we click this, it now saves our image. And if we open this image, it indeed saves the image to our computer. How awesome is that? Now, again, instead of pressing Control L to start a new chat, you can just select any line of code. For example, let's select this button here, and then press Control K to, for example, change the look or style of it. So let's write change the color to blue. And then let's press Control Enter to accept the change, press Control S to save it, and now you can see the button is blue. So that sums up how to use Cursor to build things as someone with no coding experience. Now keep in mind that there are a lot more cool features and functions that Cursor can do, and this video only covered the basic stuff. It's meant to get your feet wet and show you at least my workflow on how to build an app from start to finish, but it's not meant to be an advanced or super technical tutorial. Anyways, I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments if you tried this out and what cool things you were able to build with it. Also, let me know in the comments if you run into any issues, and I'll try to help troubleshoot as much as possible. As always, I will be on the lookout for the top AI news and tools to share with you. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content. Also, there's just so much happening in the world of AI every week. I can't possibly cover everything on my YouTube channel. So to really stay up to date with all that's going on in AI, be sure to subscribe to my free weekly newsletter. The link to that will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.